very much. So there are quite a lot of things happening, and I see at the same time there's quite a lot to be done, from policy change to hard infrastructure development. Also, like I see there are various steps to be taken from micro, meso, and macro level. Also, previous speakers, I learned that setting up a border hubs is considered as a matter of importance. This is very good for the socio-economic development for both local people from both sides, that they can join benefits from the development. Also, needless to say that India has always been an important country for Myanmar. Similarly, Myanmar has been an important trade exchange center for India, because it is the only country in Southeast Asia, land bridge between India and Southeast Asia. So since other speakers they talk about infrastructures and others, development, so I will go straight for informal sector. So we've been talking a lot about the border trade. So Myanmar has border trade with 4 out of 5 bordering countries. There are 4 trade border posts between Myanmar and China, and then 7 border posts between Myanmar and Thailand, and then 3 border posts Myanmar and India, and then another 3 from between Myanmar and Bangladesh border. So between Myanmar and India, there are 3 major border trading routes: Mandalay, Sakai, and Chin. So with Northeast India since 2017. So we've been talking a lot about trade promotion and trade promotion along the border area. So I think here we should be noted that when we talk about trade between Myanmar and India, so the role of informal sector cannot be neglected, because also it leads very much in recorded trade data and statistics. It is very important for both governments for the policy formulation to formalize the informal sector. So also, Excellency mentioned about the trade volume and amounts. In fact, the actual trade may be more than that because of the informal trade and recorded data. Also, there has been a substantial increase in informal trade in the last 2 years, and formal bilateral trade between India and Myanmar has begun almost how to say, very low. Actually, trade between the formal data is compared to informal data is very low. So there are a lot of push and pull factors, and because also some of the I see some of the question came up from the participants, the constraints about the COVID. Actually, I like to highlight a lot of, because the previous speakers they mentioned about opportunities and a lot of developments. Now I like to mention about the constraints to improve trade between the 2 countries. So, like there are several official efforts in place, increase formal trade links between Myanmar and India. But still, cost of formal trade is a major concern for formal traders. That's the reason a lot of people go for informal trade. Also, there are a lot of time-consuming and inefficient formal export-import procedures and regulations. They are now Myanmar Ministry of Commerce. They are really improving the formal system, but still there are a lot of constraints, time-consuming, to apply for export-import procedures in the border area. Also, as that Dr. Saul mentioned, that still very high duty for some products. For example, like Internet is a problem. Internet problem is a very good example for us to reconsider policy issues between 2 countries. Also, they are like actually they are like a lot of products, major products are still prohibited in both sides. For example, like fertilizer. And then sometimes what happens between 2 countries in the border area is sometimes just for informal products in Myanmar becomes formal products in India. Sometimes illegal products in India, when they export to Myanmar, it becomes legal products. So it makes a lot of out-to-date data differences between formal and informal trade. That makes very difficult for the policymaker to do specific policy reform for the specific products. Also, still we still need like kind of like a more transparent measure, and then clear roles and responsibilities of both custom side. Also, like simplifying formal operation procedure. Now there's a lot of improvement, but still, last year in November, I had the chance to meet with a lot of traders in the border area, particularly from China and India. So the thing is, like, they really would like to go to formal operation procedure, but so they really don't know how to formalize their business. So because of the complicated custom procedure makes them, to go for the informal sector. Also, they say that they are improving financial services, but still they don't want to use formal financial services. That still need to be improved. Also, like both sides, not only the COVID period, even before COVID period, because of the unstable policy and regulations from both countries, so they are frequently closed border gate from both sides. Sometimes border gates are closed a couple of weeks, so that make difficult for the traders to predict their likelihood to the future, their export and import time frame. So that's why we are thinking there are a lot of things to be done, and then a lot of things can be done. So between, for example, the specific, there are a lot of study mentioned about the specific products. For example, between India and Myanmar, for example, like fertilizer, bitterness, also agricultural products. So we can pick up specific products which are most trading between two countries, and then we can look at trading policy for those specific products. Also, we can, at the same time, we can also consider the role of trade products in the informal sector. What should be done to formalize the informal sector between two countries for this prominent trading products? Also, like investment from India in Myanmar is also improving, but trading activities are still not linked much with the investment activities. Also, we need more capital investment to go to formal trade. Also, Dr. Zhou mentioned to consider investment-led trade. For the time being, look like investment activities and trade activities are not significantly implemented each other. So we need to spend them between trade activities and investment activities to go along together. Also, we see that we need to enhance foreign markets to be connected with their domestic larger markets, because in Myanmar they have a very big large domestic market, but foreign markets are still not much connected to this, domestic larger markets. I think setting up the border huts may be helpful in the future. Also, I mentioned that like Myanmar and India, they can improve administrative infrastructure at the custom post and the trade facilitation and support institutions in border trade areas. So we need more trade posts and supporting institutions, because some of them, you can look at, some of the border trades are busy, some border trade are not so busy. So you can think of which border posts are the most busy area, and then you can get some more, you can get some more trade posts for the easier trade facilitation process for the traders. Also, as I mentioned, that improvement of financial institutions still needed. So a lot of people are still informal money transferring system. If you can do formalized, formalized, a financial system, that will be very helpful. Also, I think it will be win-win situation. Like for example, collecting tax, and then between easier to understand, trade volume, and then a trade amount between two countries through from this financial, payment system. For the time being, you really cannot know, because we have recorded trade data, but there are a lot of informal sector are using a lot of informal payment system. If you have really have formal financial system, that will help a lot for both countries. Also, like I mentioned, there are a lot of, so when we met with traders in Chin State, there are a lot of kind of trading products, for example, like fertilizer and like edible oil, and then salt, animal feed, and cosmetics, garments, stationery, and home appliances. We can think of, like as I mentioned, we can think of which products are the most traded items, and then think of which specific policy can promote this traded items. Because most of these items are more like kind of the most traded items, but they are most in the informal sector. Thus, we should think of this the most tradable items in the informal sector to formalize in the formal sector, to improve in the formal sector.
Dr. Myo Myo Myint, I think
yes. I think the line is not yeah. Can the line is clear now?
Yeah.
Hello.
Have you finished?
Okay, as I think also as the previous speaker mentioned that road conditions, like particularly the Calais move, roads need to be improved. Also between Calais and Rwanda is stay difficult to travel in the monsoon area. So that's the previous speaker mentioned that. So particularly that what can be done is we can think of one is policy, because I'm within my capacity, we are thinking a lot about the policy reform. So particularly for the trade policy reform. So I think the first thing is like we can look at various product linked to specific policy, and then particularly for the duty and tax between two countries. Also you can look at some prohibited products that are much traded between two countries can be think about that. Okay, thank you very much.